Hello everybody. If you came across this video, it means you try to find best airsoft backing for your airsoft gun, either is a AEG or HPA. My name is Amgos and let's start the video. First thing first, obviously you try to find what's gonna be and what is the best backing for the airsoft. As far as my knowledge is, and as far as I know, there is so many different rubbers and different gun types where you can run depending on gun you have and your system operating gun is. The obviously rubber, it means something different. Each rubber it's different, not only because the different colors, different obviously thickness, but there's such a thing as operating system in your AEG or in your airsoft gun. There is two systems. The first one is an open bolt system and the second one is a closed bolt system. What's the closed bolt? What is an open bolt? So let me explain you what and how you can find what is your system you running on. So let's take on my build. This is my project, what's happening right now. As you guys can see, I am running HPA gate pulsar and this typical engine only running as open bolt system. There is another engine HPA, I'll take example as I have both. There is Polarstar F2, which is double solenoid system and it can work as open bolt and as a closed bolt system. You just have to change obviously some digits and some things in your obviously on your CPU board. So closed or open bolt system is when you guys can see the nozzle for my gun, it's sitting backwards. When you press the trigger, your nozzle moving forward, obviously releasing the air, pushing the BB through to your hop rubber, your obviously unit through your unit barrel. With closed bolt system, it's basically everything backwards. Your nozzle is forward. When you press the trigger, you're moving backwards, obviously BB getting applied, and then you're moving forward and is staying in a forward position. So forward is a closed bolt, backwards is a open bolt. So you guys gonna think how I can find out what my obviously system is. As some of the AEG, when you can basically move backwards or you cannot pull your nozzle like in HPA where you can move them forward or you can move them backwards. So let me show you how you can check. Basically what you need to do, you do not have to remove your upper receiver and your hang guard. Only thing what you need to do is just remove your magazine from your weapon, put your weapon sideways. Basically just doing this for you guys so you can guys see. And as you guys gonna obviously put your weapon and you're gonna look through the hole where the magazine comes, you're gonna notice the hop unit hole. And what you need to guys have a look, you look through that hole, and for example, if your nozzle is red and you're gonna look through it and that all space behind inside, use the flashlight if that will help for you and see if the back, obviously the hop unit is actually blue, the nozzle is red. So if you use a flashlight inside, obviously everything inside is gonna be covered with your nozzle, which is gonna be red. If you're gonna flash a light and you're gonna see still blue obviously space there, it means it's an open bolt system, because with open bolt your nozzle sits more backwards, with a closed bolt your nozzle sits more forward, as I just mentioned this before. So this is how you can check and see what yours actually have at the moment. With my all builds, I'm gonna make another video as my builds are all open bolt system. Either it is HPA, obviously Gate Titan, And also this is really important for the people running KWA, as I'm really big fan of those guns, and I have most likely RM4 versions. I have all of them in my on my wall, and or as they're working in an open bolt system. So why I'm making such a big thing, such a big video when that doesn't make sense? Now I try to explain you with backings and what's the important thing is. So we have two different backings, both obviously that's a stock, some from guns, stock inner barrels, they're both brass. They doesn't have any basically important thing in this video, as they only, this is just a I use them only for the video purposes. Same as the backing, obviously. The first backing, as you can guys, probably some of you recognize it, some of you might know, some of you use it. It's a purple bromine. This backing, some of you might recognize, some might you not. This is just stock ZTI backing. I got this with my hop unit when I purchased it. So what's the difference except only the colors and obviously thickness, etc, etc. So the really important thing is, so we're gonna make some tests so you guys can understand more clearly. So when I'm gonna take my BB, when I'm gonna put the BB on top of the lip and gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm not using any force to push that BB through, I just basically put them on the lip. And as you guys can see, that BB roll out from other end. I'm not, you guys might be able to see it, I'm not using any force, it's just rolling itself. With ZCI, this is gonna be a little bit different, as we're gonna put the BB and the BB stays on the lip. No matter how, which position I'm gonna put it, that BB will not go through till it's gonna get some force on it, either with your finger or either with your obviously inside nozzle, so that BB stays like that. So there is such a thing as, I'm gonna explain you much more clearly now everything. As you guys can see, the both lips are different. The blue one, the lip is much more smaller, tighter. The purple is much more open. So this typical backing, for example, even if it's probably one of the expensive and really common, popular, using so many people in Airsoft world using it and recommend for everybody. And don't be stupid like me, where someone recommend me, oh yeah, purple bromine is one of the best, you can have it. It doesn't mean it's gonna be the best for you. Every single person, player, Airsoft player, have different backing, different hop unit, different gun, and it's up to all personal preference, what you want and what you have. As I was stupid enough to trust, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it. So I buy it, and at the moment, how much is this? 15 quid or whatever, it sits in my box. I'm not using it because it can be used with open bolt system. And why? I'm gonna explain you right now everything much more clearly again. So where is it? Okay. So imagine that's your nozzle. Imagine your barrel sitting in a hop unit. Your nozzle with open bolt, it sits more backwards, making the space for the BB. In your magazine, imagine there's a magazine. Obviously all the BBs going upwards. Your nozzle sits backwards. All then obviously BBs getting ready for the getting pushed through. When you press the trigger, obviously my nozzle move forward, pushing the BB and sitting back and coming back into the back position. With closed bolt system, your nozzle sits exactly on the lip of the rubber, and your BBs, instead of filling itself space between obviously nozzle and the backing, they sitting against your nozzle. Then your nozzle, when you press the trigger, your nozzle making a space for the BB to go up and then move forward. Obviously it's getting pushed through. So it's such a thing as any kind of the magazine you have, depends what you have, what you're using. Some springs are really good, some springs really strong, some springs are really weak. So now it's the time to release another information. As imagine we're using this rubber for open bolt system, which is obviously much more open lip. And imagine you have really good magazine with really strong spring. Your spring making a pressure for all the BBs going upwards. And imagine the spring is so strong that BB is getting pushed too high up, or because there is another BB behind it, making that BB a little bit wonky to the right or a little bit wonky to the left. It's not gonna sit exactly in alignment perfectly with your obviously rubber. So if you have that spring pushing that BB a little bit to the right and that nozzle sits backwards, you press the trigger, however that BB sits at the moment, that BB getting pushed. So that means you might find out the BB when you're shooting it's turning left, right, or going to my upwards, just because everything matters. Your hop unit, even the hop unit, always remember guys, there's not just such a thing to make this hop unit inside perfect, always like proper neat perfectly. There might be somewhere on the world hop unit to be greatest, but not every single one gonna be perfectly with no problems at all. Some might be obviously plastic, some are metal, and there's always factory can be something happens in factory and they make faulty one. You might not notice because it just maybe 3 millimeters different, but it's gonna causing you problem when you're shooting and your BBs fly. So with obviously that, however the BB gonna sit getting ready on the lip is gonna be to the right, however your nozzle sits and getting pushed, your BB gonna do something different, gonna fly how obviously the BB gonna fly how it was applied through your hop rubber. With this, which is I'm not using this rubber onto my any gun, is just for the video purposes. So this is, imagine guys, doesn't matter how strong, how weak, how whatever, even if you have a shit hop unit and your BB sits obviously getting pushed, there is no other way that BB can sit more to the right, more to the left, just because there is less space for movement for that BB than in that rubber when the BB is gonna sit exactly getting ready position. Another BB gonna make the force, but it's not such a strong to make that BB pushed too much up, because that BB already sits into the lip position how you guys want. It's exactly perfect basically. So with this, doesn't matter how big pressure is gonna be, when nozzle stick backwards, it's always, every single shot, every single BB always gonna sit perfectly, but not gonna sit perfect with this rubber. It will be perfect for the closed bolt system, just because, and I used to use this for the closed bolt system, that's why also I have it, and also because someone recommended me. Luckily I had Polar F2 and I could change obviously my nozzle for working as open bolt instead of I could change for the working as a closed bolt instead of as an open bolt, because the nozzle sits, imagine it sits onto the lip like that, and your BBs obviously sit against the nozzle. When you press the trigger, there is just, let's say, 0.00 microsecond timing till that nozzle obviously moving backwards, the BB getting applied, and that nozzle shoots. And there's basically some possibility, but it's just really low possibility that BB is not gonna end up into the lip how she wants. She's gonna sit, the BB gonna sit how she wants, because the nozzle not gonna make it, because sits against the nozzle. This nozzle will not allow the BB sits left right, just because it's getting ready, it's just under the nozzle. And obviously what's gonna happen when the nozzle move backwards, that BB getting applied upwards, and it's just microsecond, then BB is always gonna get pushed through perfectly how you want. So this is such a thing in airsoft. Some of you might know this, some of you might don't know this. So I hope you guys find this video really useful for yourself, and I hope I explain myself and explain all the things during my obviously airsoft journey, and with my obviously custom builds and everything. Hope you guys understand everything what I tried to explain you when choosing your backing. I will drop, this is my, not everybody, this is my personal preferences for closed bolt system backing and open bolt system backings. This is just my personal preference. I use all of them and all of them working great. So instead of buying 6 backing, buy, for example, if you have an open bolt system, instead of those all 6 because someone recommend you this one is gonna be better, use, instead of buying 6, buy 3 of them and see, instead of obviously wasting your money on backing. So I hope I did help you guys with this video, and I hope I explained myself and some of my experience I had with my obviously weapons to run and which one is the best for each of you. But if you guys enjoy, please leave a like. If you guys want to stay longer and see my another video with airsoft, as obviously I tried to start doing something else. Then I was obviously, my channel was gaming, now I try to do something in the airsoft, and I hope obviously you guys can want to stay longer. So feel free to subscribe and drop any comments what you want. If you need help or have a question, feel free. I will try and answer all my questions if you guys drop anything. And yeah, if you guys subscribe, like, I really appreciate that, and I hope I did help you, and to make you guys aware, especially as I mentioned before, for the KWA people, I gonna make another video where I'm making my KWA T10 HPA, when I turning that beautiful electric blowback weapon into HPA, which obviously it is not as easy as, basically, especially with the gearbox, as KWA have 2.5 gearbox and normal AEG, for example, that Spetsna, it's V2 gearbox, which is completely different, because the problem is with the gearbox, with the nozzle, and I have been working on that for quite a long time, and I came to the place where I'm really happy with all my obviously accuracy, with my PSI on my bottle and my reg and everything. So yeah, that will be everything from me, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.